what up, guys? Fruit Punch CB here. Back with some more Chaos Head. Noha. Noha. Let's play some of that. Chaos Head Noha. Oh, I didn't even check. Let's see. I should check. Oh, never mind. You know, sometimes when you plug in the controller, and then the sound goes to your controller. I was afraid that might have happened, but not this time. We're at chapter 3. Shogun. Having a quick chat with Grim before diving into ESO was becoming a daily routine of mine. We never talk about anything specific. Gotta make sure everything works. We swap information about the latest at-chan threads, or talk about naughty stuff, or our latest favorite manga, or the anime we seen the other day, stuff like that. I never talk about anime with other people. It gets too personal. Oddly enough, we didn't talk much about ESO. We do more than enough ESO chat when we were playing after this. Is that the limited edition figurine? I don't like it because I can't see her stiff nips as clearly with this one. Let's see. What does this mean? KWSK? I never heard of that before. Short for Kuwashiku, or give me the details. Kuwashiku? Give me the details. What the fuck? I do play a lot of H games, but Graham kept using that phrase. Instantly, I felt sick. The sentence didn't even make sense. Was the phrase funny enough that you had to force it in everywhere? I didn't think so, at least. If anything, it was stupid. But I couldn't start an argument until I asked him about the prank. I decided to just put up with it for now. Bzzz noise. I scratched my toe. That strange noise that had been left on my phone yesterday. I didn't know who was behind it. It was pretty unnerving, so I decided to try and ask Grim. If it was just a prank, I could forget about it. Huh? Well, why wasn't Grim responding? There was no answer. It was rare for Grim to pass out on me during a chat. It had never happened before, actually. But if it happened, happened I see him later in ESO, and I could talk to him then, just when I was about to get up out of my seat. Oh, was he up to? But that would mean that even Grim didn't know about it, and he usually knew everything. So it must be someone who had a personal grudge against me then. I was starting to get really curious about who it could be, but I didn't have the courage to call him back. I suddenly had an idea. If I knew the phone number, I could have somebody else call it for me. Maybe Nanami or Mizumi. Those would be the two safest bet. But no, Mizumi was brainwashed by the demon girl. He wasn't a good choice. Nanami was my Imoto, so it would be easy to ask her. She'd get really mad later, probably, but That wasn't my problem. It was the least she could do after all the bullshit she put me through. I said thanks to Grim and ended the chat, promising to meet up with him later in ESO. My stomach was starting to rumble. I was hungry. Did I have any instant ramen somewhere? I looked but didn't find any. I have no choice but to go to the convenience store. The sun had already set. I would have preferred not to be out at night if I could avoid it. Really the only bad things to happen at night. I headed to the convenience store, my feet moving faster than they usually did. Was that my mouse? Do you see that? Oh, you guys don't see my mouse? Oh, you do see it. What? I was like, I didn't notice it. Yeah, I was too busy reading the text. It was Saturday, so normally I would have seen a bunch of people on the street. Today it was empty. All the stores that would usually be open were closed. It was kind of strange. Maybe I've forgotten what time it was. I thought it was 7 p.m., but maybe it's actually 2 a.m. or something. Nah, no way. Still, it was way too quiet. You couldn't hear any of the noises you usually heard in the city. The town felt different somehow. I made it to the convenience store in front of the Shinsen station. Even the area around the station was completely devoid of people. I was starting to get more than a little scared. When something you expect to be there suddenly vanishes, it makes you feel like you've been sucked into some strange other world. Normally I avoided any interaction with other people, but today I longed to see somebody's face. I ran into the convenience store. There should at least be a cashier here, I thought. I looked around. There was nobody. No customer. No employees.
まさか
That was impossible, right? The cashier must just be in the back. If I took my stuff up to the register, they'd come out right away. I forced myself to take my time picking out the box meal from the refrigerated section. I even pretended to look at the manga magazines before finally putting my meal on the counter next to the cash register. Nobody came out from the back. I started to have an awful premonition. This wasn't right. Had I wandered into some place I really shouldn't be? As I stood in front of the register, I took a quick look outside. I couldn't see a single person moving on the other side of the glass door, but I could see a silhouette, partially hidden by the shadow on the condo building across from me.
Huh?
The silhouette quickly hid, but still, I could see it clearly. There was something long and black in his hands, like a tube. Was that a sniper rifle? It would either be a police force mobile unit, or maybe the special assault team. I hadn't seen anyone because the police was sealed off the area, but why? Suddenly, I had a shocking realization. I quickly looked around the store before hiding myself behind the shelf. Could there be a hostage situation happening in the store? Maybe there was a criminal in the back room who'd taken the cashier hostage. And maybe that criminal was the one responsible for the NewGen murders. Oh no. I crouched down with my head in my hands. Why had I come to some place so dangerous? And what were the police doing? If they had this area sealed off, why didn't they stop me before I came in? Was there any way to get out? If I stayed here, they'd take me hostage too. Fortunately, I hadn't run into the criminal yet. If they were locking themselves up in the back room, now is my chance to run. I was so scared my knees were shaking. I could barely even stand up still. But I somehow managed to stand up and slowly head towards the door when it started with a really stereotypical message, the kind you didn't even see on police procedural anymore. A policeman was yelling to the microphone outside the store. I was so startled that I hid behind the shelf again. It was like something out of a cheesy old movie. Didn't they have any hostage negotiators or anything? That was short, just 30 seconds. Wait, force? Were they going to put the hostage in danger? If someone had tried that in modern Japan, wouldn't the media crucify them? What were the cops thinking? I held my breath and stayed as still as I could. My heart was pounding really fast. It felt like it was about to burst. If the policemen did come in, the store would turn into a war zone. I'll be caught up in it. Maybe I'll get hit by a stray bullet and die. Please, no. The criminals seemed to be doing nothing at all. The inside the store was dead quiet. I was starting to get mad. Why had the criminal done something so stupid? Come on, just surrender. Surrender or something might happen to me. Too. I picked out from the shelf and looked outside again. Shockingly, there was a full team of SAT snipers out there, plainly visible, pointing their rifles right at me. I quickly pulled my head back. The police seemed intent on shooting the killer. Was that even legal in Japan? I couldn't believe it. No way. Come on, please stop. I looked around helplessly before I happened to look down at my hands. For some reason, my hand was holding a knife. It was stained red too. This was blood. I was confused. When did I get this knife? Where did it even come from? I heard a moan right next to me. The cashier was lying there. It was a dull, unimpressive looking college kid. His hands were bound behind his back, and his mouth was sealed with tape. He was staring at me. His eyes were flushed with terror. Why was he looking at me? Don't look at me like that. You're looking at me like I'm a criminal. Wait, the criminal. Am I the criminal? No, it's not me. I didn't do anything. No. No. No! He got shot. That delusion sucked, dude. There was no chicks in it. Why didn't he imagine one of the heroines? Instead, we got a no-face NPC. Please don't act like that. Oh, they scream fire anyway. Sheesh. This was an old war movie or something. Several minutes had passed while I was lost in my delusions. There was no sign of any employee at all. I wanted to believe that the cashier was just asleep, so I waited another 5 minutes. But there was still no sign of the cashier or anybody else. There wasn't even any sound. I finally got scared, so I put the thing back on the shelf and left. Then he got on her. I would have borrowed some Cheetos and maybe a Pepsi or Coke. I came to the railway crossing right next to the station. I could see the Shinsen station platform clearly from here. There was no way a station platform could be empty, I told myself. It was just impossible. But of course, there was nobody there. I decided to wait for a train to come. If a train stopped at the station, people would surely get off. And even nobody did. I could see somebody in the train as it went past. I waited 10 minutes and there was no sign of any train. I tried to tell myself that there might have been an accident or something that had thrown the schedule off, but there still wasn't a single person on the platform. Only then did I realize the seriousness of the situation. It didn't make sense. This wasn't right. I decided to head to Shibuya station. There was always somebody there. I was sure of that. The area around Shibuya station was always busy, 24 hours a day. I couldn't take the fear anymore, so I started to run. I ran as fast as I could. Even when I started running out of breath, I still didn't stop. I wasn't sure if I ever run so hard in my entire life. As I ran, I wished this was all some awful dream, but it wasn't. My heart and lungs were in so much pain, I thought they'd explode. There was no way this pain could just be a dream. I was surprised at how intense my breathing was. But no matter how much air I took in, the pain didn't go away. I headed down Dojin Zaka Hill and finally got within sight of the 107 building. By that point, my legs were barely moving. My body felt incredibly heavy. But I forced my legs to move forward. I didn't even have the strength left for looking around me. My entire consciousness was forced on getting me to Scramble Crossing, the symbol of Shibuya. Almost there. Just a bit more. I just had to make it past the 107. Then I'll be in the busiest place in Japan. The place where everyone mixes together. When the walk sign changes. That's why it's called Scramble. Scramble. Nobody here. Empty. The whole of the Scramble Crossing and Shibuya Station were empty. A world without sound. A world that was dead. The air around the crossing was always filled with a flood of sound, but today it was ruled by silence. All I could hear was the sound of my own panting. I fell to my knees in the middle of the wide road. I couldn't take another step, but more than that, the shock had drained all the strength from my body. There was nobody to my left or right, or my back, or front, anywhere. It was the busiest time of the week, 7 p.m. on a Saturday. What was going on here? This couldn't be happening. I closed my eyes and put my hands up to my head. This was a dream, an illusion. It couldn't be real. Sure, I thought I wanted to live a quiet life all by myself. I didn't want to get caught up in anything or have anyone meddle in my plans. But that didn't mean I wanted to be the only person in the world. There were no other people. Who was going to pay my living expenses? But you don't need to worry about your living expenses because there's no other people. If there were no other people, who's going to make meals I got from the konbini store? Okay, that's a good point. If there were no other people, who was going to play ESO with me? That's another good point. If there were no other people. Sound. I heard a sound. It wasn't me. It was a sound someone else made. Someone who was here. Someone else was close. I felt saved. It was just random chance that the crossing looked empty. Nobody had actually disappeared. I hadn't been left alone in the world. I was almost ready to cry from sheer relief. I turned around toward the sound. It's a wheelchair. It was a boy in a wheelchair. He was silently sitting there, some distance from me, but still in the middle of the road. It was hard to figure out how old he was. If I went just off this height, I would have thought he was in elementary school. I didn't know that. Whoa. It's cause alright, they haven't described how he looked like. But he's fucking wrinkly. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, because when I saw him in the anime, I didn't think that at all. Not at all. I thought, damn, this is some old dude. He had pulled down over his eyes, making it hard to make out his face. I mean, old people could be short too. But the boy's voice was strangely clear. It was as if it was being whispered into my ear. I actually found myself turning around to check if someone was behind me, but of course nobody was. I asked him.
君は理由を知ってますか？
知ってるよ。
His voice sounded young, but not like a
それ
child's.
より僕のメッセージは受け取ってくれた？
Message? I don't know what he was talking about.
誰だ君は。
Oh, look where they at. They're at the crossing. That was the message. He was probably the guy that called. His wheelchair advances forward. Wheels turning just a little. It must have been an old chair because it was rusty creaking sound as it went.
その目誰の目？
Sono me dare me? Or is it dare no me?
でしょ？
I wasn't sure what to think. Why had this boy suddenly said, whose eyes... maybe I should say in Japanese. It sounds cool in Japanese.
その目誰の目？
Dare no me?
その目誰の目？
Sound like he said, Sono me dare no me. To me right here, right now. Who was he?
目覚めるんだ。早く出ないともっとたくさんの人が死んじゃうことになるから。
君は一体。
I rubbed my eyes, wiping away my tears. Only then could I finally see his face. The boy wasn't a boy. See, I knew it. Hey. But that would have been a very interesting first. Did he say that in the anime? Did he ever call him a boy? No, right? Because it's all in his monologue. In the anime, they should have let Takumi talk out loud saying, is that a boy? It didn't talk blah blah blah. And then he looked at his face like, he's wrinkly. He's an old man. The boy wasn't a boy. His face was wrinkly, like an old man. His cheeks was caved in. His eyes sank deep into his skull. The white cloudy, and he had no eyebrows. Yet his body was tiny as a child.
僕は将軍だよ。
Shogun. Okay. For a moment, I forgot to breathe. My head felt like it had been hit by a hammer. The ground seemed to shake. No, it wasn't my body that was shaking, but I put a hand on the asphalt to support myself. What had he just said? We all thought it was Takumi. Shogun. This was Shogun?
忘れないで。君は逃げちゃいけない。
I looked up and saw that Shogun had already turned around from me. His wheelchair was creaking as he slowly disappeared. Alright. It didn't even occur to me to try to follow him, or ask more questions, or to punch him in the face for getting me caught up in this. I wasn't any good at any of that stuff. My head was starting to hurt. I felt an aching in my temples. I stayed on the ground trying to endure the pain. The silent world suddenly began to fill with static. Who was that voice? What did it say? Oh, that's what they're saying. Oh. The static began to change into a voice. Somebody was putting their hands gently on my shoulder.
邪魔なんだっつうの。
何してんだろうね。
最近の若いもんは。
なんかのパフォーマンスじゃないの？タク。
I looked up, still reeling from the headache. The demon girl, Rimi, was leaning over me, looking down into my eyes. Her eyes were clear and filled with life. Those eyes stared at me and only me. Again, once again, she just showed up out of nowhere.
歩ける？歩いて。
She put her hands under my arms and tried to help me up. I screamed to push her away. Then I came to my senses and looked around. I was still in the middle of the road, but I wasn't alone anymore. There were people all around me, walking past me without the slightest bit of interest.
タク。
Rimi seemed like she was about to cry as she looked at me.
今は私の言うことを聞いて。
夜だ
I screamed, the aching in my head turning into a stabbing pain. I tried to fight through the pain and crawl away from her, to put as much distance between her and me as possible.
お前だろお前が見せたんだお前の妄想だ僕の心を支配して精神攻撃をこの悪魔めお前なんて剣で殺してやる
You can't say that in public, can you?
ベースに帰れば僕には理想
Oh, fuck. I felt a sudden shock on my cheek. It stung and started to feel hot. Rimi had slapped me. This time, she was going to kill me. I tried to crawl away as fast as I could, but Rimi easily grabbed my hand. She pulled me close with her strength. It was hard to believe a girl could have... I mean, come on, bro. You're weak, too. Oh, she gave you a hug. And held me tight. Her soft body pressed against me gently. It was so warm, and I could smell just the slightest hint of sweat. Her long, flowing hair tickled my nose.
しっかりして
It was the last thing I expected her to say. I could feel the strength leave my body.
ここにいたら危ないよ
Her voice sounded a little sad. I couldn't tell if she was crying.
信号赤になっちゃってるから
I wasn't sure what to think. Wasn't she here to kill me? Why was she saving me? Wasn't that hallucination of people disappearing from Shibuya something she forced me to see? Once I felt this gentle warmth from her, once she held me with her innocent arms, how could I still be sure? How could I stop myself from thinking that maybe Rimi Sakihata wasn't a demon at all? Was I just a fool? Was I falling for her tricks? The one thing I could be sure of was that I felt so safe and peaceful in her arms. What was this strange feeling? Rimi let go, and then her hands put up to my cheeks and looked me in the face. Her eyes were a little red.
お願い今は私についてきていい
I nodded. We were standing in the middle of the now empty crosswalk. People on both sides of the road were staring at us as they waited for the light to change. I could hear laughter starting to bubble up from the crowd. The cars all had their headlights pointing at me and were starting to honk their horns. Rimi held my hands tightly, started to run towards the sidewalk. I followed along, letting her pull me forward. I thought they were going to get run over. We managed to make it through the noise of the horns to the sidewalk. Rimi let out a sigh of relief and stopped. She was still holding my hand. Just touching her made me feel calmer and calmer. It made me want to give into the feeling and stay like this forever. Rimi turned toward me.
無事でよかったね
She looked so happy. I couldn't believe that the look on her face might be a lie or an act. But
話してよ
I thought of her as my enemy for so long. I thought of her as a demon. If I gave in, I ceased to be me. That's how it felt, at least.
あごめんごめん
She let go.
それにしてもびっくりしたタクが道の真ん中でうずくまってるんだもん信号が赤になった時はどうなることかと
She sounded happy. I turned away. I started to push through the crowd and walked forward.
僕帰る
あじゃあ送るよ具合悪いんでしょ
Hell no. You stay away from me. I could hear her chasing after me, but I shook my head no.
タク
I like this main character a lot. I'm not going because I'm so used to visual novels bending their knees. Whenever they see a cute girl, they bend the knee. Taku, on the other hand, Giger Chad, he does not bend the knee. He'll tell her straight to her face, hell no, you're annoying, get away from me. What a man. The cheerfulness in her voice had vanished. felt really bad since she just saved me, so.
ありがとう。
Dang. The Sundir effect. Told her, hell no. But thanks. I just barely managed to squeak out the words. Alright. I certainly didn't think they end up merging all three of the task forces into one. Okay, we're a different person. I always feel like, I guess it did transition. Yasuji Ban sighed bitterly to himself as he looked at the rows of detectives assembled in Shibuya police station large conference room. The Inokashira line Shibuya station bathroom murder. Whoa! Oh yeah, I remember that. I thought it was a new one. What the media had taken to calling vampire had pushed the Shibuya police available manpower to its absolute limits. And with 3 bizarre murders in the same district, it was looking more and more likely that a single culprit was responsible for all of them. Some officers had suggested leaving the Cornelius Tower suicides to the Youth Crimes Division, but the media was treating them as part of NewGen, and they take a lot of flack of it. Seemed like they were leaving it out. It was only natural that HQ would decide to bring the task forces together into one big team. Right now, the new, bigger group was going back over each of the cases individually. There was a big screen at the front of the room, showing slides of the crime scenes. Suwa had been assigned to get the briefing on them. He and Ben had been up all night frantically going through the case files for all 4 cases. Good luck, kid, Ben said to himself, resting his head on his palm.
コーネリアスタワー集団投身自殺事件の発生は9月7日っす。です。ニュージェネとマスコミが故障している4つの事件の中では一番最初に発生してます。
This had a pretty interesting ass music.
午後11時半ごろ、渋谷コーネリアスタワー屋上のヘリポートから男女5人が転落、全員死亡しました。5人は全員未成年の高校生、男が3人、女が2人。ただし5人のうち男女1人ずつだけが同じ学校なだけで、それ以外の3人はいずれも別の学校でした。
But don't worry, I still got gas in the tank.
5人それぞれの爪の間にわずかな肉片が残っており、手のひらに引っかき傷があったことが司法解剖で判明しました。そこから5人は互いに手をつないだ状態で転落したと推測されます。屋上には遺書らしきものはなし。被害者5人は学校帰りに待ち合わせてコーネリアスタワーへ向かったようです。なお、事件性があることを示す根拠としては、コーネリアスタワー屋上が関係者以外立ち入り禁止であったことが挙げられます。事件があった時間、屋上への扉は施錠されており、その扉のドアノブに被害者5人の指紋は付着してませんでした。また5人の遺品からも扉の鍵は見つかっていません。このことから被害者以外の第三者が事件前後にその現場にいた可能性があります。その第三者が扉の鍵を持っており、事件前あるいは事件後に鍵を閉めて立ち去ったという線で捜査を続けています。
This would be really good with chips right now.
コーネリアスタワーのホテル従業員全員への聞き取り調査は終了。ほぼ全員にアリバイがありました。今はタワーに入っている企業の社員に話を聞いているところです。被害者たち5人には今のところ自殺する理由は見つかっていません。家族、友人、学校の教師など5人中4人の関係者が口を揃えて自殺する理由などないと断言しています。
Whenever they go through debriefing, I like to use chips to pass the time. I'm not gonna lie. Just hearing I don't know. I do that with movies too, right? Whenever movies or anime, they go do like a debriefing whatever phase. I like grab a bag of chips, just crunch, helps pass the time. Obviously, this is necessary to the story. It's to help us catch up on what's going on. The slide changed, moving to the second case. The murder of the college kid and the unborn baby on the Shibuya station tracks. Damn, this is fucking brutal. Ugh.
続いて通称妊娠男
I
事
can
件
see why
について
Steam
です
banned
が
this.
事件発生は9月19日通称集団ダイブ事件から12日後第一発見者は現場近くのカラオケ店店員遺体発見は午前5時
It's
前後
karaoke.
被害者は渋谷区在住の大学3年生近衛千鶴夫21歳発見された時にはすでに死亡してました死亡推定時刻は遺体発見の約4時間前19日の午前1時頃です遺体は腹部が不自然に大きく膨れ上がっており中から胎児が発見されました司法解剖の結果被害者は生きたまま腹部を何者かに切開され胃の中に胎児を入れられたようです胎児はすでにその時点で亡くなっていたと思われます
Why would they do that?
被害者が死亡したのは腹部を縫合された後縫合した部分をかきむしったり縫合糸を一部引きちぎった形跡が見られました
Okay, so let me get this straight. The victim. Let's see. So the victim got opened up alive. That's painful as fuck. And then they put a baby inside him. Excuse me. So by the time they sew up his body back together, he's already dead. Wait a minute, we find indication that he ripped at the stitches and torn some of the thread? It says that the victim would have died after his belly was sewn back together. But they found indication. Oh, let's keep going. Maybe they'll explain it more.
胎児は妊娠8ヶ月ぐらいの状態で母親の体から帝王切開で取り上げられたと考えられます
Via C-section.
胎児の母親については今のところ見つかってません
She's probably
その
dead.
生死についても不明です DNA 鑑定の結果胎児と被害者には血縁関係はありませんでした
Not even the baby daddy.
ちなみに胎児の血液型は B 型被害者の血液型は A 型です
Sua paused to take a breath. Talking so much had tired him out. It looked like giving a presentation in front of this many older detectives was probably nerve-wracking too.
次に第3の事件丸山町貼り
They
付け
didn't
殺人事
explain
件
it.
です
So I'm gonna assume probably while they was stitching him back together, he probably tried to remove the stitches. And then by the time they were finishing stitching him, he died. That's probably what I'm thinking. There was a slight pause before a crucified slide came up.
これが現場写真です
He probably censored this by a lot, right? It's not gory.
事件発生は9月29日被害者は太田久志56歳都東大学教授
Man, this is kind of dumb. Why do people censor gore? And I'm looking at you, Japan. You think I don't know? I remember Resident Evil 7. They censored Ethan Hand. America didn't do that.
第一発見者は現場のすぐ近くのアパートに住む男性被害者の死因は絞殺でした殺害された後で10本程度の釘を使って貼り付けにされていました
There you got choked out. Oh shit, alright.
見ての通り遺体には外傷はほとんどありません釘についても貼り付けは一部肉体を貫通しているものもありましたが基本的には衣服を通して貼り付けられている状態です
Alright.
マスコミでは貼り付け血の惨劇などと謳われてますが、出血は全くなし。
Really? It's not censored. That's how it's supposed to be. What the fuck? You think Taka was being delusional? There was no blood?
釘はドイツのクロイツナーゲル社が販売している特徴的な長い十字架のような杭です。
What does that mean?
犯人が十字架型をあえて選んだということから、宗教的な側面からも捜査を進めてます。事件の起きた21時から21時半の間に現場周辺で壁に杭を打ち付ける音が数十分続いていたという証言が複数得られました。
There's probably one of the things I like from the Chaos series. Like both Chaos Head and Child. I like the murders. They're pretty unique. I think they're still pretty damn unique from all the other visual novels I played. Right? All the other visual novels are pretty gory. Some of them are pretty clever. I think Chaos Head / Child, I think they still take it from me when it comes to murder. I like dude, you know the first one of the murders in Chaos Head, it was being live streamed and he just got fucking threw up sumo stickers. That was fucked up.
被害者の死亡推定時刻がほぼそれと同じ時間であることから、おそらく被害者は現場かそのすぐ近くで殺害されたと思われます。
I think the most gory one so far is the second one, right? The baby. Fucking, he died being opened up alive. This guy got strangled to death. And the first one was a group suicide. Splat to the ground. The second guy died very slowly.
また信憑性は怪しいですが、事件現場で私立水明学園の女生徒を見たという証言も上がってます。最後に、
Oh yeah,
井の頭
vampire.
線渋谷駅トイレ殺人事件、通称ヴァンパイア事件です。
So his blood got drained out. He turned green.
事件発生は10月10日。遺体発見は午前5時半頃、駅員が発見しました。
What was that other visual novel I was playing? The one about crazy people. I gotta finish that one too. I forgot. That one's another good psychological I gotta finish. It's about people getting stuck and shit. I hope they start killing each other. That would be pretty interesting.
被害者の身元は今のところ不明。身元を示すような遺留品は一切ありませんでした。死亡推定時刻は前日の午前10時から午後6時の間。
It's not reliable.
遺体の血液はすべて抜かれており、
10
ま
a.m.
る
to
でミイ
6
ラのよう
p.m.
な状態で放置されていました。
What the fuck? Then that's a long ass time. Oh, was there any for blood? Some mummy.
ご存知の通り、この写真が何者かによって撮影され、遺体発見より15分ほど前にインターネットのオークションに出品されており、
That was pretty genius. I like that. Take a picture and then auction it in a blood bank site or some shit, right? Ban grimaced a little as he listened to the explanation. Was this the killer way of saying that death had become fashion or something? I thought that was pretty clever what the killer did when he did that. That's probably the most impressive one. Hey, chapter 3 is done. Chapter 4, D-Sword. This is when the story finally starts. Cool. But honestly, for me, I like the prequel. What they call it? It's not a prequel. The prelude. I think that's what they call it. I like the prelude a little bit more. The story is good too. But the prelude is when all the murder stuff happened. And I said it before, right? Pretty much earlier. That's what I really like about Chaos Head and Child. I do like the murderers. But damn, I wish they went over it more. with a little bit more detail. I guess that was as detailed as I get. What more do I want? I don't know. I guess I just want more. But now it's going to be slowed down because now we're entering the main story. And now that's when we have to solve the heroine's problems. That's okay. They're pretty cute. Sign City was a pair of buildings located just south of Shibuya, Scramble Crossing. The east building was located next to Shibuya Station. There was a small plaza just inside the entrance, which was often used as a meeting spot, even if it wasn't famous as the Hachiko or Moyai statues. A dozen or so people were in there now, waiting and playing with their phones. One of them was standing alone with a curiously stern expression on her face. She was a teenage girl named Sena Oi. Sena Oi. Wasn't there someone named Oi in Chaos Child? Let me see. Damn, I don't feel like getting the book. It's kind of dusty. I have the collection edition. Nah. I only remember Miyu. I think that's her name. Because they look alike. Nah, Miyu had a lab coat. And long black hair. I like Miyu a lot. The lab coat was pretty good. I also like, what's her name? I keep calling her. Forgot. I only remember the Nana part. I like Nana. If you went down the escalator on the second floor of Sign City, the one that lead away from Inokashira line station, you would see her there, leaning against a white pillar, watching her surroundings carefully. Despite her stern expression in the season, she was nibbling on a popsicle. It was kind of cute in a way. Who am I? Am I Taku? Is he watching her? Alright, let's keep reading. We'll find out, I guess. Of course, she wasn't waiting for anyone. She was quietly observing the people coming and going around her. I think I'm narrator A. I don't think I'm part of the story. I'm just narrating. From where she was standing, you could see all the way to the big TVs at Scramble's Crossing. They were showing a promo of some famous singer. At the bottom of the screen was scrolling a line of text talking about the NewGen murders. Not a day went by when she didn't see something about NewGen. The TV, the papers, the net, the magazines, even the big TVs in the city. Sena wasn't interested in them at all, but walking through Shibuya, she would often hear people talking about the murders. Whose eyes? Let's see. Sonome. Dare no me. Did I say that right? Whose eyes are those? Lately, she'd been seeing people wearing t-shirts with that questions printed across their fronts. It had gotten its start as an underground meme in Shibuya, and now it is getting out of control. Somebody at the Hirajuku gift shop had started selling t-shirts, and they sold pretty well. At least that's what she heard a smiling man says as he passed by her on the street. It was a good sign of how little people cared about anything about but themselves. Sena gave a little snort in contempt before she ate the last bite of her popsicle. She closed her eyes, the stern expression still on her face. Yeah, I think I'm narrator A. I'm not part of the story. I'm just narrating about her. I don't think Taku's there. She listened to the noise of the city. On Sundays, the area around the station was filled with many different sounds. Trains rattling into the station, taxi horns, people talking as they walked. Music from the big TVs and inside the shops at Sign City. Announcements endlessly telling you how to safely ride an escalator. The sounds never stopped. As soon as one ended, another took its place. All the different sounds laid together into a dissonant jumble of static. Sena focused on the noise, directing her attention to the people's voices. Her brain shut out any other sound so she could hear the words clearly.
結局全部同じ犯人なのかな。
違うってニュースで言ってたぞ。手口が違いすぎるって。なんかっつバンドの歌詞と一緒らしいじゃん。ファンタズムな。お前あのバンドこじつけて有名なバンド今時ファンタズム知らないなんてさ。じゃあ CD 貸せよ。遅れてるよな。ほらこれ見てくれ。 この前からでしょ暴言に埋めたれる結構来るじゃねマジで来てるやつ初めて見たでもあれじゃねこれってニュージェネの犯人に俺の殺してくださいって
I read it already.
俺もいよいよ全国デビューか
Yeah, I think I read it. Never mind. Fuck. Oh, it's getting faster. Oh god. They leveled up. We're both girls. Wait, the killer's a chick. Senna let out a little grunt. How did they know? She stopped listening almost immediately. The noise offered her nothing useful. In the end, the noise was just noise. Whose eyes are those? You think that's... I'm telling you, that has to be like a... Whoa, I think I know the twist. Right? If I remember correctly. But, you know, it would be really cool if another twist is... She's talking about us. Watching her. Eating that popsicle. For a while now, she had this awful feeling. Like a cold finger running... we're not doing that, are we? Hold up. Hands up. Like a cold finger running down her spine. Someone's gaze was upon her. But she couldn't find out who it was. Senna stepped away from the pillar she's been leaning up against. And then, as if she just remembered she was holding it, she stared down at the popsicle stick in her hand. Loser. She looked even more upset as she walked quickly towards the station. You only get one popsicle, because that's the only thing you could afford.
あの空はどうしてあんなに泣きたくなるくらい青いのかな
Poetic. Because that's what I wish for.
私は望んでない
I did. Okay, that's Rimi. This is your mental world, but it's mine too. Alright, now who are we? Are we Taku?
ねえあの空はどこにあるの
Anywhere if you wish for it.
望んでいいの
Dang, I love visual novels.
朝だよほら起きて起きなさい
I have the same thing. Except for I have an Ilya alarm app. Don't ask me why I chose Ilya. It's because she's from Fate Stay Night. I was thinking about getting a Nino alarm app from Consensual Quintuple. Because she shares, I like her VA. But the Nino alarm app, I have it on my Android phone. It's pretty cheap for a... No, it's expensive, but the app itself feels cheap. It's not... It doesn't feel like it's worth $8. I spent $8 because I bought the features and extras. But it didn't feel... It didn't feel like it's worth it. The Ilya alarm app is pretty good because it felt like it was like the original Illustrator. At least for the anime. Like the Nino app. The quadruplet, whatever. The Nino alarm app. It felt like they just took screenshots from the anime. But it probably wasn't from the anime. I don't know, it's just two different things, I guess. But the Alien one has some memes. They got Ellen Sensei. It's pretty funny. Yesterday, Blood Tune was such a great episode. Setatan had a lot of cool scenes. And there was also a sexy kiss. The animation quality was top notch too.
起きたらおはようのキスしてあげるからさって私何言ってんだろバカバカ今の忘れて
What she said? Setatan was calling me. And being super moe about it too. I had no choice but to get up. Ilya wouldn't say that to me. Not like I want her to. She just called me a baka and told me to get the fuck up. I'm fine with that though. I ripped off the covers and got off the sofa with a moan.
ちょっといつまで寝てるんさこのボケナスこうなったら私のサムライコンデンサでぶん殴って起こし
What she said? Samurai condenser. Alright. I remember in the Nino app when I was using it for a little bit. Nino told me let's go shopping. I'm like, what the fuck are you? What? I guess that does help you motivate to get up. She said, let's go to the grocery store or some shit like that. When I hit the switch on the alarm, Satato's voice abruptly stopped.
おはよう、セーラ。
I don't do that. I just put my phone on vibrate and go back to sleep. My set of voice alarm was a treasure of mine. If you didn't flip the switch, the volume would gradually get louder and louder before switching to an intense buzzer sound. I wanted to start my morning waking up with Setaton, which meant I always tried to flip the switch before the buzzer sound. That's a pretty good. I want one. I guess I have an alarm clock already on my phone, but having one that's not a phone would be nice. I only ever felt twice. Waking up with Setaton always put me in a great mood. It does put me in a good mood with my Ilya alarm app. Well, no, actually playing games all night and sleeping on the hard sofa made me feel like crap. But having Setaton waking me up did make a little bit of the pain go away. Today was a school day. I missed a full day last week, and it was starting to throw off my schedule. I was supposed to only go twice this week, but thanks to that, I had to go 3 times. I didn't want to go, but I had to. Any more skipping and I couldn't graduate. To be honest, even if I couldn't graduate, it wouldn't make that big of a difference for me. I just had a dream about Rimi. It was a strange dream. Somehow nostalgic, somehow lonely, somehow sad, and somehow incredibly distant. I wondered if she was coming to school today. I spent a lot of time thinking about what happened 2 days ago. I spent so much time thinking about it, it cut into my ESO time. I didn't think much about Shogun or the illusion of the empty Shibuya. They didn't seem all that important to me. All of it was most likely just a delusion of mine. It was hard to believe that Shogun could be an old man like that, and thinking back, the idea of every single person disappearing from Shibuya just seemed silly. Hey, aren't they making a 3rd Chaos series? The way Chaos Child ended, I think it led to an assumption that there might be a 3rd. Well, maybe that was a rumor I just heard from the internet. I forgot. I don't know why I brought that up. Oh yeah, because he brought up Shogun, and it reminded me of Chaos Child ending for some reason. Oh. It was a very realistic delusion, but I found myself embarrassed by how easily I believed something so impossible could happen. What was more important was Rimi, the girl I called Demon Girl until just a bit ago. In that place where it felt like a strange floating dream, she held me tight, and I could still remember the feeling of her body. If she hadn't done that, I might have gone crazy. Why had Rimi saved me? Was it because we were friends? I didn't have any memories of all of us being classmates since our first year, or of going to see a movie with her and Mizumi. But the way she treated me was the way you treat a good friend. When she held me tight, she looked a little like she was about to cry. That at least didn't seem like an act she was putting on. I never met a girl who cried over a crappy, creepy otaku like me. After seeing it, the fear and suspicion I felt had just blown away. In fact, it almost felt like I could fall in love with her, though I stopped myself from going that far. What I felt most was uncertainty. Why should I face Rimi from here on out? Was she my friend or my enemy? Was she responsible for the NewGen murders? It was an undeniable fact that she saved me. But it was also true that I'd seen her covered in blood at the site of the crucified murder. See, that's the thing that confuses me. The detective said it was bloodless, right? No blood loss at all. But we saw Rimi covered in blood, and I think I remember the corpse was covered in blood, right? It's interesting. I wonder, that's foreshadow, right? Maybe Taku, Taku do see a lot of shit. He is kind of crazy. Like, he has a lot of delusions. So we can't really trust Taku eyes, can we? Right? Taku, damn, that's probably why we have two narrators. One to narrate the story, and then the character said, whose eyes are those? I feel someone's watching me. That's probably narrator A. Let's call that narrator A. So there's two main characters in the story. Narrator A, where the character say, who's watching me? And then there's Taku, where we see his perspective. And also a third main character. Someone in the detective room. But that might be narrator A as well. We don't know for sure. So there's actually three potentials. Main characters. Taku, as we see, we're always Taku, right? Well, not always, but most of the time we are Taku. We see stuff in his POV, and that could be misleading the story, right? And dun dun dun, causes a plot twist. Because what we see as Taku, we can't really trust, as he's an unreliable source with all his delusions. And then we get narrator A and maybe narrator B in the police room. We don't know if they're the same person. But they could be actually a big role to the story as well. We probably won't know more until later. I stopped at Shoto Park on my way to school. Ever since the incidents with Yua, I quit my habit of eating breakfast here. The idea that Yua could be out there somewhere watching me made it impossible to enjoy my meal. Then he lost his last sanctuary with the outside world. And even worse, if she came to talk to me, I had to listen to a bunch of more delusional nonsense. I didn't have time to deal with her. Yua works for Rimi. That was my original idea, but it may have been wrong. That didn't mean that Yua wasn't an enemy, though maybe Shogun was the big boss and Yua was working for him. Whatever the case, it'd be best if I stayed away from her. But today, I come for some reason, anyway. I looked around carefully to make sure Yua was nowhere to be seen. Then I slowly sat down on my bench. I took a bite out of the chocolate pastry I bought at the convenience store, Konbini store, and looked out at the lake. I love chocolate. Chocolate pastry is good. There was barely any wind. The water surface was still and calm. Once in a while, I could see what might be a carp moving through the cloudy water. There was nobody in the park today, which was rare. It was a very quiet space. As I looked around the park, I found myself thinking about Rimi again. To be honest, I almost decided not to go to school today, just to avoid facing her again. That's why I come here to the park to buy some time. I felt like I said all kind of awful things to her. But she always smiled and been kind to me. And I was sure if I went to school again, she'd come up to talk to me like she always had. She'd pretend that what we experienced in front of the 107 had never happened. She smiled and treated me like a friend. Damn, bro. I can't stop thinking about Chaos Child. Chaos Child. I think they did a really good job with Chaos Child as a predecessor, a sequel to Chaos Head. Because they share so many cool Easter eggs. If you never experienced Chaos Head and you go to Chaos Child, you probably won't pick up a lot of those Easter eggs. I only watched the anime before I started Chaos Child years ago, and I was able to pick up some. And then when you seen the twist, you're like, oh, and then they're like, psych. You think we're gonna pull the same plot twist twice? We ain't gonna do that. And then they made fun of it. I was like, oh my god. The same plot twist twice? And they were like, psych. I was like, damn, they pulled a double plot twist on us. It's crazy. Yeah, Chaos Shadow was a really good sequel to Chaos Head. She pretended that I just brought it up. I don't know why. Oh yeah. Because of he's talking about Rimi. And then Rimi, there was a character in Chaos Shadow that basically took the role for Rimi. But then they twisted a little bit, and I like that. She pretended that we never experienced a one-on-one, so never happened. She smiled to me like a friend. Part of her constantly cheerful nature did seem a little obnoxious, but I also felt like if I stayed with her, I might start to feel cheerful too. But what should I say when I meet her? I didn't think of her as a demon anymore. But it was also true that I didn't think of her as a friend. Mizumi has said that she and I had been friends and classmates for over a year and a half, but I had no memories of that at all. Maybe something had broken within me after all. But could my memories of Rimi disappear while everything else remain intact? Was that possible? She got really white thighs, bro. Shit look like leggings. Oh, it is. Wait a minute. I went to the school building, head pointed toward the ground as always. I did my usual thing of walking slowly on the side of the hallway while I headed for the stairs. My class was on the 3rd floor. It was kind of a pain to get there. I wish there was an escalator, actually. As I got up to the stairs, I saw a girl slowly staggering up at them. She was dragging her right leg. Did she sprain it or something? Her tiny body was kind of wobbling as she walked. She looked like she might fall over at any minute. The other students were quickly passing by her, but she went slowly up each step. From below, I could almost see her panties. Crap, if I didn't do something, I'd look like a pervert. I didn't want anybody calling me a creep. I tried to quickly walk past her when... Whoa, what happened? She tripped. Oh no! The girl tripped on the stairs and staggered forward. Holy fuck! Oh, see ya. And then she fell hard, right on her face. Fortunately, she was standing on the landing when she fallen, so she didn't end up rolling down the stairs. But she was lying there on her knees, not moving. Was this the beginning of something romantic? Not a chance. Even if it was, I didn't have the courage to talk to her. See ya. I quickly slipped past her. Sorry, but get help from Mizumi or somebody else who likes 3D girls. Don't expect anything from me. But the girl still wasn't moving. I started to get a little worried. When I got halfway up the 2nd set of stairs, I turned around to check on her. Damn. She was clinging to the railing and trying her hardest to stand up. Dude, why was her knees bloody? Her knees were shaking like a newborn deer. There was blood on her knee. Maybe she scraped it. I've seen her face somewhere before. Was she the one who transferred into my class last week? What was her name again? I couldn't remember. And she was crying too. Did it hurt that badly? Sure, it was a bad fall, but it shouldn't have been enough to make her cry. Nobody else was trying to help her. She finally managed to just barely stand up, and then began to look down at her knees. She seemed to be checking how badly it was hurt. Come on, Taka, just leave. Why are you watching her struggle? She wiped away her tears, then put down her bag and started to rummage through it. What was she trying to find, I wondered. What she pulled out. She suddenly pulled something out of her bag and held it above her head like she won a great victory. In her fingers, she held a bandage. Alright, she's a moron. Let's see. Our eyes met. Oh, she quickly flushed with embarrassment and looked down. Oh, she's embarrassed. Alright. Well, she seemed okay. She didn't need my help at least, right? I said I should just head to my classroom and leave her there. I kept my head down and my gaze glued to my feet, as always. I arrived at my seat wordlessly. Actually, hadn't that girl said something to me on the day she transferred here? I've forgotten all about it with what happened with Rimi, but what had she meant?
Yo, Taku.
As always, Mizumi said hello to me. Maybe he didn't have any friends besides me. That would explain why he only ever seemed to talk to me, at least.
聞いてくれよ。昨日さ、怪しいおっさん2人が校長室に入ってくのを見たんだ。で、俺とリミトでこっそり盗み聞きしてみたらびっくりしたぜ。その2人、刑事だったんだぜ。え？
Detectives.
なんか深刻そうに全校生徒の名簿とか見ててよ。もしかしてニュージェネと関係あんのかな？
Maybe the NewGen killer goes to our school. For some reason, I found myself thinking of Rimi's face.
まあ盗み聞きしてたら見事にバレちゃったんだけどね。
My body froze. Speak of the devil, I heard Rimi's voice and my heart rate jumped. I couldn't look up. I was too nervous. It was a totally different type of nervousness than what I felt last week, though.
あれはお前がドア勝手に開けたせいだぞ。分かってんのか？
しょうがないでしょ。本物の刑事さんって見るの初めてだったからちょっと興奮しちゃってつい。
何をどうやったらついドアを開けるんだよ。おかげで俺らまで刑事から話を聞かれる羽目になったんだからな。
大臣ってば刑事さんに聞かれちゃまずいことでもあったの？
そういうお前はどうなんだ？
さあね。
The two of them were talking, one on each side of the desk. They were both totally ignoring me. But to be honest, I preferred it that way. Oh, her name is Nono! What the fuck? I keep calling her Nana. Damn, I finally remember. The girl in Chaos Child. My favorite character. That's not me. Her name is Nono. I keep thinking about Nana for some reason. Yeah, I remember now. What the fuck? How did I remember Nono? I forgot. But to be honest, I preferred it that way. Rimi talked to me, I wasn't sure I could answer back. I was hoping that the bell would ring. But when I looked over the clock, I saw there were 5 more minutes until first bell.
そういやタク、ここに来る途中で梢ちゃん見なかったか？
Kazue? Who's that?
ああ、そっか。どうせお前のことだから覚えてねえとは思ったけど、マジでそうだったんだな。先週転校してきた子のことだよ。折原梢ちゃん。
Orihara. Oh, so her name is Kazue Orihara.
階段で
階段？
見た。
お、そっか。じゃあもうすぐ来るな。
Mizumi's voice was filled with eager anticipation. I hadn't seen him this alive since he found out that Fess was a girl in the next class over a few days ago. I never seen him excited about anything that didn't involve girls, actually. Couldn't think of it. Hadn't he tried to hit on the transfer student on her first day, too? It was kind of impressive, actually, especially since he already had a girlfriend.
なあ、梢ちゃんってマジ可愛いと思わねえ？
I wasn't sure how to answer that. I gave him a vague nod. He seemed to take it as a yes.
太郎、俺一目で気に入っちまったよ。なんか守ってやりたくなるんだよな。
What? No.
男子みんなも同じ意見でよ。どいつも可愛いって言ってんだ。けどよ、女子の間じゃあんま評判良くねえんだよな。
Why?
まだ転校してきたばっかだぜ。それなのに早くもうざいみてえな意見まで出てきてんだよ。
Why?
このクラスの女子って性格悪いやつ多すぎだ。
それって大臣のせいじゃないの？だいたいそのうざいって言ったのどうせ大臣の彼女でしょ？
ああ、そうだけど。
そりゃあ彼女にしてみればうざいに決まってるよ。自分の彼氏が目の前で折原さんを口説きに行っちゃってたらさ。私でさえよく喧嘩売られるんだから、大輔君に近寄らないでって。しかも一人じゃなくて何人かから言われた。
マジ？
自覚なしか。少しは反省したら？
いやー、モテる男は辛いぜ。
これだよ、さすが女の敵。もう私フォローしてあげないからね。あ、折原さん来た。
なんか怪我してるみたいじゃね？
本当だ。どうしたんだろう。
I won't say nothing. No, she was hurt before she fell down, right? So it was from when she tripped on the staircase. Of course, I didn't tell them that. For now, I wanted to minimize the amount of time I spent talking to Rimi.
俺、ちょっと行ってくれ。
Mizumi ran off toward the transfer student. Rimi was now the only one standing next to me. Please, Mizumi, don't leave me. The Taco got a lot of delusions. Rimi didn't say a thing, but she didn't make any move to leave either. I kept staring down at my desk, so I couldn't see the look on her face. I could only see her waist, but I could tell she was facing me. She was looking at me. Sorry, Rimi. But I want to see something happen. I had to say something. I had to say something. Anything. But I didn't know what to say. Oh God! The more I tried to think, the more my mind began to go blank. Suddenly, Rimi wiped her nose. Out of sheer reflex, I looked up in surprise. She was crying. I didn't know why, but she was sobbing. I felt even more confused, so I just sat there silently, like an idiot. I couldn't think of anything else.
私
Rimi spoke in a teary voice.
嫌われちゃってるのかな。ごめん。もう話しかけないから。ごめんね。私邪魔だよね。
And then she turned around and walked out of the classroom. I wanted to scream, "That's not true!" I wanted to tell her. I just didn't know how to talk to her. That was all. I thought about going after her, but in the end, I couldn't get up from my seat. Even if I did, what should I say to her? What could I say? Do I say, "I love you"? Do I say, "We're friends"? Impossible. I didn't know anything about Rimi. Sure, she saved me the other day, but she was still this mysterious person who just come into my life out of nowhere. I didn't know if I liked her or not. I didn't have any memories of her. I could use to decide.
ああ。
Mizumi came back from talking to the transfer student. He looked at me with pity in his eyes.
泣かせちまったな。あいつ前に俺に相談してきてたんだぜ。タクのことが好きなんだけど全然気づいてもらえないって。
What the heck? When the hell did that happen? I shook my head violently.
だってわからないんだ。さっぱりわからないんだよ。
わかるかわからないか、そんな理屈の話じゃねえだろ。ま、結局お前は一生ニートやってろってこった。
I never spoke to Rimi again after that, all the way up to graduation. Even when we see each other in class, we avoided each other. And then after graduation, just like Mizumi said, I became neat forever and never saw Rimi again. Bad ending. Oh, come on, bro. His delusions. What? Where's the gore? Maybe I end up with a bad ending like that. That'd be pretty sad. But it was just a simple truth that I didn't know anything about Rimi. I had no choice but to sit there in silence.
Taku?
Since I wasn't saying a single word, Rimi seemed a little scared when she talked to me. But I couldn't even react. From her perspective, it must look like I was ignoring her. In my mind, I knew that wasn't right, but I still couldn't bring myself to do anything.
大丈夫?
This time I nodded, desperately. I probably looked a little worried. Excuse me.
そうだったらいいんだ
Her tone was gentle. Somehow, unbelievably, I managed to avoid the bad ending. She wants to know if I'm okay, huh? Suddenly, I wanted to ask her, when she seen me in front of the 107, how had the world looked to her? But the fact that she hadn't brought them up, she might not know anything about the people disappearing from Shibuya or Shogun in his wheelchair. Does that mean they really were part of my delusions? I went to ask Rimi that, but I didn't feel like I could raise my head and ask any more questions. Not today, anyway. I wasn't ready. Or ask next time. Next time I came to school, yeah, that was it. I'll take some time and think about everything I needed to ask.
あれねえタク折原さんがこっち来たよ
The transfer student? Oh, she'd be coming over here. Was she going to get mad at me for not helping her on the stairs? She didn't look like the type of girl. Maybe she went to talk to Rimi, not me. The transfer student stopped right next to Rimi. She wasn't saying anything. What was going on? With Rimi here, I couldn't look up. The transfer student's feet seemed to be nervously fidgeting, but she didn't say anything.
折原さんどうしたの
Did she not talk? Is she the type of character to just breathe and make gestures? For some reason, she put a single bandage down on the edge of my desk. What do you want me to do with this bandage? It was a fancy one, but it had a weird character. Ghetto Froggy on it? Was she giving me this? I wasn't sure how to react to that. This transfer student, Kazue Orihara, was a bit of an odd one. Huh? Was she crying? Why was she crying? Because I didn't say anything. But she didn't say anything either, right?
タクは怒ってるわけじゃないと思うよ
Rimi backed me up. It felt strange. I didn't know anything about Rimi, but she knew all about me.
彼ってあんまり人と目を合わせようとしないの引っ込み思案ってやつ
Oh, that's what she meant. Look. I like looking at my desk. I don't like looking at you. It's not your problem, it's my problem.
だからそんなにガチガチに緊張しなくてもねえ私にも絆創膏くれるのありがとう
Thank you for the used bandage. The transfer student bowed and ran back to her own seat.
なんだかよくわかんないんだけどタクその絆創膏もらってあげるべきだと思う
I like that she has a confused look on her face. Like, look at her eyebrows. Her face, alright, it's pretty good, right? But then when you see her eyebrows, you can see it's like curled up and raised. I like that a lot. She looks very confused. Why has she given it to me?
梢ちゃん無口だよな
I can sense Mizumi coming back.
転校初日に俺が校内を案内したんだけどよ。
うわ早くも手出したんだ。
まだ出してねえっつうの。んで、まあ1時間ぐらいかけてあちこち回ったんだけど、もう俺一人で延々と喋り続けたよ。あん時はさすがにちーっと疲れたぜ。
I don't know why the subtitle's so slow.
しかもすぐ泣きべそかく。
Doesn't it feel like it's slow? Let's see. Config. Text. Get faster. Feels very slow. So I raise it up a little bit.
そうそう今も急に泣き出したから何が起きたかと思ってあたふたしちゃった。
Still pretty slow.
そんだけピュアなんだよ。
I would just max it out.
なあタク、お前ならわかるだろ。
What the
小
fuck,
杉ちゃんの
bruh?
仕草一つ一つの可愛さ
Oh, my bad.
ってのがよ。
Change it back. I had it like right here, right? I think I had it right here. No, I think I had it like... Put it like right here. I don't remember how I had it. I think when they talk... Whoa! It's only the chicks! What the fuck? What about Mizumi? Hey! What's the button? Oh! Holy shit!
お前流に言うなら萌えってやつ。
What the fuck's going on? Oh!
なんだクソでも我慢してんのか。
They did a pretty good job. What you said? Fuck, I wasn't reading. I shook my head as hard as I could.
タクさっきからちっとも喋ってくれないんだ。
Just because you're here, Rimi! Naked! I'm not ready to talk to you. I never really talked to a female friend before. I never even had a female friend.
でもさ今折原さんと話してみてなんとなく思ったんだけど。
I'm just so used to girls being thick as fuck because of all the dojins going around and fan art.
彼女と話してるとなんだか疲れちゃいそうかもなんて。
What she said? Damn, this is too fucking distracting. I'm not even reading anymore. I was just looking at her. Fuck. What a powerful DLC. What she said. Oh, okay.
女子ってのはマジで同性に対して容赦ねえな。ま、
This doesn't
小杉ち
feel
ゃんは
right.
俺が守るからいいけどな。
It felt more normal when Rimi was naked.
ほんの数十秒前に大地も相手するの疲れたって言ってなかった？
I'll turn it back on when we see another girl.
うっせ。小杉ちゃんはタクと同じ匂いがするぜ。ほっとけねえって感じ。
What the fuck? I had to read that for a minute. I'm like, what? And then I read the rest of the sentence. I'm like, oh, okay.
それはわかるかも。
Should have put the bikini back on or lingerie. Dang, doing pretty quick. All right, I'm excited. Who's the next girl? The sound of the bell told me that all my classes for the day were finished. As soon as I heard it, I packed all of my stuff and headed out the door. I wanted to get the heck out of there as soon as possible, partially because of the awkward distance between me and Rimi. But also I had something to pick up at the manga Darek. Oh! Oh, I know that store today. Did they call it that? I felt like they call it that too, right? It might have been a little bit altered, but I think I know that store. In the end, I was never able to say a word to Rimi. I had several chances to talk to her, but I kept silent the whole day, just like I'd done in the morning. Maybe that was mean. Maybe I just made it even harder to talk to her next time. Maybe it felt like maybe I was only making things worse. It's okay. Oh man.
Oni!
Do you wanna... Fuck. I don't wanna see Nanami naked. Alright, I guess. I paid $10 for this, right? Man. This feels weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like this. I heard an annoying girl calling out to me as I left the school building. Nanami ran up to me with a trash can in her arm. She seemed to be in the middle of sticking out the garbage. Don't get too close! Why she had to bother me then? I tried to ignore her and leave, but as always, she refused to let me go. I can't tell, bro. Is it those kind of bra that's like, it doesn't have the strap? Nanami yanked out the hem of my blazers. I just gotta close my eyes. My eyes!
逃げるなって何度言えばわかるの？
なんだよ。
なんだよじゃない
God
よ。
damn it.
お兄が逃げるからナナもつい追いかけちゃうんじゃん。
Don't run after me if you don't even have anything to talk about.
相変わらず
This
家
feels
に電話
weird.
かけてこないし。まあ、ナナはもう諦めて。
Oh, my eyes!
どうせお兄
I
が
can't
真面
look
目
at
に連絡入れ
this.
てくるとは思えないもんね。
My eyes won't let me. I'm sorry. There we go. I like it better with the school uniform on. Good, you understand. That's the kind of intellect I want to see in my Imoto. Not that I need a 3D Imoto at all.
というわけで、これからも定期的にナナがお兄の部屋に様子見に行くから。
Wait, what? See, this is why I can't put the bikini on, bro. I'm not following the story. Blah, blah, blah. Never come home. Oh, because he don't answer his cell phone. Now she gotta visit him. Okay.
感謝してよね。
Crap. I should have known that was how this is going to end up. Won't somebody rid me of this obnoxious Imoto? Yeah, I feel better. No, that was impossible. I at least wanted to get back at her a little. I wanted to get back at her for a long time, actually. Wait, I had an idea. I had a plan that I've been working on for a while. This was my chance to put it into practice. Maybe it will give her a little bit of vengeance. Give me a little bit of vengeance. I looked around to make sure no one's watching, and then beckoned Nanami to follow me into the yard.
何？
ちょっと来てくれ。
なんで？なんかあるの？
Man, she was annoying. Can you just shut up for following me?
ナナミに大事な頼みがある。
え？頼み？お兄が？なのに？
Her eyes were wide with shock.
珍しいじゃん。お兄が頼み事なんて。
とにかく黙って。
I do like the school uniform. I'm not gonna lie. This school uniform is pretty good.
あ、ちょっと待ってよ。
Better than the lingerie, right? There weren't that many people in the yard. At lunchtime, it was filled with students eating lunch. Nobody but the gardening club would bother coming here after school, though.
で、頼みって？
Yeah, I wouldn't come here after school either. I'll try to go home. She put her trash can down and looked at me with a smile.
条件はマクで汚りね。その条件飲んでくれるんなら本当は嫌だけどお兄の頼み聞いてあげる。
Damn, bro, she just whipped a fish fillet. Grrr. She was so annoying. I didn't think she wanted me to pay a price for it. Especially since I already bought her at McD's. Well, whatever.
わかった。おごる。
I give you your $5 fish fillet combo.
え、本当？今日のお兄いつもと違うね。
I was actually lying though. Sorry for being a liar. Lol. Not this one. I never used that before. SRY. I had it on me my cell phone. When I asked her to call the number blah 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 03X733 X991, the one that had prank called me.
着歴の番号にかける？相手は誰？
ネットの知り合い。
She looked at me suspiciously, so I came up with the most plausible sounding lie I could.
どうして7がかけるの？
かければわかる。
なんか企んでない？
Jeez, would you shut up? Just shut up and do what I tell you. And if you can't do that, then leave. I don't need you for anything.
じゃあもうお前には頼まない。
I tried to take the phone back, but Naomi pulled her hand away from me.
わかったってかけるよ。かければいいんでしょ？ほんとわがままなお兄だな。
You don't get to talk. I held back my anger and gulped as I waited for her to call the number. Naomi innocently put the phone up to her ear and waited for someone to answer. I could see the yellow bangle on her wrist as she held up the phone. That was the one I gave her, or more precisely, the one she's taken from my room. She was wearing it to school? Does she like it that much? That cheap bangle I got for free? Naomi really did have terrible fashion sense. Maybe I was the one to talk though. No, that wasn't important anymore, right now. Who was going to answer the phone? Some scary DQN guy. I hope it was just a prank. It had nothing to do with Shogun or Yua.
もしもし？
Someone seems to have picked up. Nanami had spoken to the receiver. But she soon furrowed her brow. Then she offered the phone back to me.
お兄。
なんだ。
なんだじゃないよ。現在使われてませんって言ってるよ。
I took the phone and put it to my ear, and what I heard was,
おかけになった電話番号は現在使われておりません。
damn, we still owe her a fish fillet.
もう一度おかけ直しください。
It was true. Maybe it really was just a prank then. Maybe whoever was behind it would just call a bunch of random people numbers and prank them before ditching the phone and number they were using. That was a lot of work for a prank. Well, it wasn't my problem. Now that I knew the mysterious call was just a prank, I felt much safer.
ねえ、一体何なの？
もうお前用なし。
Why do you guys say it like that, bruh? I'm done with you. Leave. I left Nanami behind and started to walk, but Nanami followed after me.
どういうことか説明してよ。
Shut up.
お前掃除中だろ。ゴミ箱置きっぱなしだぞ。
でも説明聞いてないもん。
僕は帰る。
I can't help it, bruh. I'm curious. What does this look like? This is so weird. What the fuck? Alright. It was pretty fitting. Because she's like, it looks like she's covering herself. Nanami grabbed me, but I ignored her and started to quickly walk toward the school gate.
お兄、じゃあ はマクでおごる約束だからね。ちゃんと覚えといてよ。
Yeah, yeah, $5 fish fillet.
知るか。
ちょっと嘘ついたの？
まあな。
Damn. Damn, what a scumbag. Nami came to a stop, pouting. But I kept walking.
お兄のバカ。
She screamed loud enough for everyone to hear. I looked back, annoyed, and she was glaring at me, shoulders heaving with rage.
お兄なんて携帯の電磁波の影響で脳みそスカスカにされて死んじゃえ。
Why did she keep telling me to go die? Crap, thanks to Nanami yelling, I was trying to attract attention. I had to go unnoticed at school. What an obnoxious Imoto. I headed for the gate. Oh, can I go back? I forgot to put it in the bikini. I'm in the lingerie.
お兄なんて携帯の電磁波の影響で脳みそスカスカにされて死んじゃえ。バカ。
Dude, you can't go back? What? You can only go forward. She just said, yeah. I head for the gate at a jog, ignore her. The best move at the time like this was to run. Baka! I could hear her screaming even outside the gate. Oh, I forgot to put the bikini back on again. Oh, it's too late. I meant lingerie. I don't know why I keep calling it the bikini. It's whatever, bro. There was an artist I like called Higashi Marasema. Let me see. What time is it? See how long? I guess it's a good stopping point. Damn, I like this. Well, obviously I like the story too, but I unexpectedly like the change costume option. I like that you can do this mid gameplay. What the fuck you call this? I like that you don't have to go back to the title screen and to activate this. I wish this was a button. That would make things a lot easier. Like, I don't know, make it like the directional buttons or the left click or right click. L3, R3 button. I think making this a button would be super cool. But it is DLC. You have to pay for this. So I guess that's better than just going to the title screen anyway, alright? But this is unexpectedly pretty fun setting to abuse. The problem with this setting is I lose focus of the story. Not because they're in their lingerie. Okay, it is that, and it's because I'm so mind blown. They're just in their freaking lingerie out in fucking public, and then like the dudes, they're still fully clothed. It's like I have fucking X-ray vision or some shit. It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I like that. It was pretty funny. Oh man. Alright, let's go save. That's pretty good. Excellent progress. This is when the story finally starts too, right? Well, not yet. Wait till the D sword. But yeah, it's pretty good. I like the prologue. Pretty good prologue. We finally, Rimi, you know, Taku's finally coming around to Rimi. I think all the girls got introduced. Who's missing? So we got that blonde girl, Nanami, Senna, Rimi. Missing. I don't remember. Alright. That's GG's. We'll play more Chaos Head laters. Alright, later. Bye.